Another nice wintry day, boys and girls. Today we've got the truck back and we've got the P0765 code fixed, resolved, dealt with. So what were the steps to figure it out and what were the steps to fix it? Well, if you didn't watch the last video on this, what we had was we had an issue where when driving along, the truck would just randomly decide to take a jump and pop out of gear. And actually, if you look in the video that I did, hitting sharp bumps seemed to kind of affect it. So anyway, let's dive right into it. First thing you want to do, obviously, if you have any shifting issues, pop the hood, check the transmission fluid. In my case, transmission fluid was full, luck day one. A few months ago, when we did a fluid service on this truck, I did notice that the transfer case fluid wasn't great looking, but whatever, it seemed to be fine. So first thing we want to do, I use HP tuners, so we want to use the scanner, and instead of just scanning all your normal stuff here that it sets up for you on its own, you actually want to click right here on this add a channel option, which I've already got open, and you want to check for two things. You want to check for TCM voltage. Actually, what you want to do is you want to add this channel and you want to scan it. So you add TCM voltage, and you also want to see the output shaft sensor RPM. So you set your scanner up, add those two tables so they show up over here. Then you want to click on vehicle scan, take the thing out and drive it until it acts up, and see which one shows you the issue. So in my case, I had constant 12 volt. I never lost any power, so I knew it wasn't a wiring issue. So the next thing we led to was the output shaft RPM, which when the truck threw itself out of gear, we seen a bad blip in the graph. So that told me the output speed sensor was getting a bad reading. There's another thing you can do here. Once you're connected to the vehicle, now I'm not connected, you can go down here to this controls and special features or functions, and that'll actually let you activate every single shift solenoid in the transmission as well. Usually the solenoid will give you its own code. So that being said, when we scanned those two things, we saw the issue on the output speed sensor. So what's the next step? The next step was we get underneath her and we drain the fluid out of the transfer case, which again was super crap looking. So we yanked the transfer case out and we took her up to good old Rick Rude. And we got a brand hammer new rebuilt unit, which I don't have good light under here, it's hard to see. But the culprit was the transfer case, not the transmission. So that being said, so far I've put 200 kilometers on the truck already. Just got it back today, and it hasn't hitched or done its foolishness. I also noticed there's a lot less vibration in the floor of the truck. I had some vibration after the truck pull, so clearly the transfer case was just on its way out. But a lot of people, and even myself, would definitely think this is a transmission issue. But the thing is, if it was a transmission issue, it should do it all the time. It shouldn't come and go, unless of course it was a solenoid. So other things I've noticed, when I get underneath the truck, the old transfer case where your drive shaft goes into it, I had a lot of up and down play, and that up and down play, it was actually moving everything inside the transfer case. It wasn't just the yoke and the spline being sloppy. The yoke and the spline's actually in really good shape. So when I pushed up and down on that, there was excessive play there, which told me that the toner wheel on that speed sensor, which is on the back of the transfer case, kind of a dumb setup. Why they didn't just have that output sensor inside of the transmission is beyond me, but this is what led to the failure, so we had to deal with it. But another thing I noticed was with that up and down play, it was also starting to let that back seal leak on the transfer case as well. So anyway, I hope this video helps you guys out. Now I will say also, I could have went to the junkyard and I could have bought a used transfer case, but most of these trucks this year with a 263 HD is going to be out of a Duramax. Most of the time you can't find an 8.1 in the junkyard, so chances are that transfer case has already been through a war, because you usually don't see a Duramax in the junkyard unless they got 1,000,000 kilometers on them. So instead of buying a used transfer case and going that route with it, Rick Rude's treated me great before, so I know I'll have no issues with this, and if I do, he's awesome and he deals with it. But this situation, it's probably not worth going used unless you're just going to get rid of the truck afterwards. So I feel that it's money much better spent by paying and getting a whole new rebuilt one. Now I know there should be no failure point in the four-wheel drive, and this thing should stay going for quite a while, hopefully. And again, in my case, very seldom will you see any troubles with an Allison transmission with under 300,000 kilometers. So depending what the mileage is in your truck, and again, most of the time this is the fix for the P0765. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you're not already, and we'll be at you.